Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I am Dr. Melissa Oden, and this channel is helping people heal. And I am so excited today to have my very special friend and guest, Cheryl Weiss, with me. How are you today?
Great. How are you? It's so good to see you.
It's wonderful to see you again as well. So, the reason we're going to have this conversation really quickly is because you have a women's expo coming up, and I wanted to let all of my viewers know about it. And can you tell us, first of all, a little bit about Wavemakers, which is who is sponsoring this event, and who you guys are and what you do? And then let's talk a little bit about what's going to be happening in this expo.
Absolutely. So we call ourselves wave makers because we're not content making ripples in the water when you throw a pebble. We want to make waves like a ship running through the ocean makes waves in the lives of women, giving them hope and helping them to see a path forward and
Mhm.
how they are being affected by others. So to make good choices in who they surround themselves with and how they are making ripples in the lives of others and how they can make waves in the lives of others. And that is what Wave Makers is all about. It began because we knew two special young women who were 17 and 18 who tragically lost their lives in a car accident. And at their funeral, there was standing room only. And it was because of the way they lived their lives that they affected so many people. And they were from a town without a stoplight.
Oh,
And they were um, wonderful people and in their own rights, but the special effect that they had on all of them around of those around them um, was just this massive wave making
mm.
instead of just ripples. And we found that, and their mother is one of our wave makers, the original wave maker we call her, and Angie, our friend, who has helped us make waves, and we love serving women.
Yeah, Angie and I have been friends for a long time. And I actually met you through her. So thanks,
Yes,
Angie. I feel very blessed by that.
yes,
So I know that this is not the first expo that you've done. I've actually worked with you before, which is super
yes.
fun. And so, just in full disclosure, I'm actually going to be a part of this expo. But I wanted to help promote this because I really believe in the mission and what you guys are doing. It aligns very much with what I do in my own business. So I always like to find other women who are doing some of the same things so that we can partner together and help each other. So tell us a little bit about like when this expo is going to be and what's going to be included, and then we'll have a little bit more information in just a minute about how my viewers can access this expo. So what's this all about?
So we decided that after January drops off, many of us as women uh, have good intentions, but we start to slack off because, not because we're slackers, but by any means, but because we prioritize the people in our lives and super important things and events in our lives, and we're taking care of others and we're nurturing others and we're working and we're serving and we're doing. We don't always stop and take the time consistently to take care of the one who is doing so much caring. And we know statistically that women have a hard time with the idea of self care, which isn't always what you think it is. But we know what self care is, and it is the fundamentals of taking care of your body and your mind and your soul and all of those. Some people are really good at taking care of their mind, but they neglect their body.
Right.
And I understand that completely. And none of us have everything right. But when we all come together, we can help each other do everything right. And so we know that if there are small steps that we can do, we're always more successful. So we're going to bring in experts in the field of women's health, women's mindset, and women's spiritual lives to have conversations or what are the little steps that we can take. Because, I love to watch a good commercial about a 45-minute workout video as much as the next woman. And I admire the person doing it, but that is not the season of the life that I am in right now. I need smaller steps.
Hmm.
And I know if I need smaller steps, I'm not alone. There are other women who need smaller steps taking care of the body, smaller steps of taking care of their mind and getting the right mindset, and smaller steps spiritually of how do I become the woman that I know I was meant to be,
Right.
instead of being stuck or struggling with health and with mindset and with spirituality. And by spirituality, I mean the very essence of what we were created to be by our creator, and having that connected.
Mm-hmm.
um, it's a little different than some people mean when they say spirituality.
Right.
So we're going to have this expo. We're going to have expert speakers coming in and speaking on these things, and we're going to interview them. And that is all free to everyone who wants to register. And you'll have access to the link to register for this expo. It will be on April 18th, and the times will be in the registration page, and you will have access to that through Melissa.
So I will be sure and pop that link for registration down in the comments below here so that everybody will have access to that. So, well, this sounds really good. And I would ask that for both our audiences, because I know you have one too, and you're going to be sharing this video with your audience, that you guys share this with the women in your life who you know need it. And honestly, I don't know of any woman who doesn't need this right now. You know, stress, again, I have said it before. You guys know, if you follow my channel for any length of time, or me for any length of time, you know I'm super passionate about this, right? Stress is the #1 killer of women via heart disease. And it just affects us differently than it does men because of our makeup, the way our creator made us. We just have a different genetic makeup, a different clinical makeup than men do. Not to say that they don't experience stress, because I've heard from some men that are like, what about us? That's not the point. They do
Yes, yes.
experience it. But my goal is to try and help women understand that they need to take care of these 3 dimensions of their body to be able to mitigate whatever comes down the road for them, because we will all have something. And if you don't have good coping techniques, then you're going to struggle extra, right, when those hard times come. So
Yes.
I want women to be prepared, and I want them to be ready to face whatever happens, good or bad, right?
Absolutely. And I want to mention too that this is going to be a live free event. I know I said free, but it's live. So you can come and you can ask questions of our speakers, and you can ask questions of me, and we can have a conversation in addition to gathering some information. And you're going to be presented with a lot of information, but in every step of the way, we're going to pull out one step that you can do. And if you're struggling with figuring out what is the one thing that I could do to just move myself forward just a little bit? We'd love to have that conversation. We love the interaction that we get on these live events where we can have those conversations, because a lot of times I listen to information and I'm gaining some knowledge. I have so many questions.
Yeah.
And if it's live, then I get to ask those questions, and we get to have a conversation about what that looks like and how it would help me in my life.
And many of those speakers have resources that they're going to be able to provide you for
Yes,
free.
every
So
speaker will have free resources
yeah.
to share with you.
So it'll be well worth your time to be able to do that. Okay, so one more time, April the 18th. It's going to be for a majority of the morning and early afternoon.
Yes,
What I
it'll be
understand.
it's 9 or 10 in the morning to 2 or 3 in the afternoon, depending on your time zone, and we will get all that information worked out in a way that's concrete and easy to see and understand, instead of me trying to explain the
Yeah.
difference between the
And
time
yeah,
zones.
once you click on that registration link, you'll be able to see all that, but just know that it's going to take up a good chunk of your morning and early afternoon. So anyway, well, I'm looking forward to this. Like I said, in full transparency, I'll be one of the speakers there, and I'm so excited to work with y'all again. I think this is going to be so much fun and so needed, especially as we're moving into, I think we're going to be in the second quarter. We're in the second quarter of the year when all this is going down, because you're right. By the time we get to the second quarter of the year, we're like, what happened to those goals we set in like December, January? So I think this is going to be a good check-in place for everybody to just kind of see where they are and where do you want to go? How are you going to become the woman that God created us to be? So thank you for spending some time with me today. If anybody has any questions, just again, comment below, or y'all know to reach out to me via email. and I will be certainly happy to connect you and Cheryl. So Cheryl, I look forward to seeing you at this event. I think it's going to be great. So thanks for coming
Me
on.
too. And thank you for this honor. I appreciate your support.
Absolutely. So as we always end each of our videos in ULA, I always say be grateful, have faith, and go get your ULA life.